Hello everyone, I am back with new updates on the game. It's been a few months of work, but I am happy to announce that a beta test version is opening soon. And if you want to play the early versions of my game and stay up to date with what I'm working on, join the Discord server in the description. And with that, let's begin. The first big thing I've done in this update is that I reworked the weapons. There will be melee weapons and ranged weapons that you can modify using the attachment found from beating enemies, or by buying them from the shop, or by some other hidden ways. If you are wondering where you can modify your weapons, I got you, because one of the updates is a prototype of the tinkering table, where you can use your modifiers on your weapons in order to improve their performance in fights. Well, that is what it should do, but I didn't finish it yet, because it was exhausting to work on the weapon and I wanted to take a break. So I started working on something else, and that something else is a new dungeon generator. I was just messing around with a dungeon generation script. Look at this. It is working! Oh my god. And this time I actually managed to make it work properly. Although it had some small issues with the rooms spawning on top of each other when they didn't have any other location to choose from, but I fixed it. While working on this dungeon generator, I started using the debug function a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, I got some pretty funny, interesting results from doing so. And this is how the dungeon generator looks like. You can input the number of rooms, maximum number of enemies, the furniture percentage in the dungeon, and a lot more. Just a quick reminder for you to subscribe if you like what you see and want to support me on this journey. Thanks. Another thing that I have been working on is the enemy AI. That was pretty easy to make. I first tried creating the AI from zero, but I didn't want to overcomplicate my work, and I started using the NavMesh 2D, a pretty good free Unity package that is worth getting. The way this works is with a 2D circle collider set as a trigger on the enemy and another on the player. The collider on the player is a circle of noise, and when you walk, shoot or use abilities, its radius increases, making it easier for the enemies to detect you. Another function of the enemy is to patrol the area around its spawn, so that the player cannot go AFK in a corner without risking his run. I also started creating the enemy attacks, and I'll show you some of them because I want you to check them out in the beta version of the game. The first one is called the Omega, because it's shaped like the Omega symbol. Next one is Split. It shoots with different angles and it maybe won't get you if you don't move. And the last one is the Sine Wave. Now let's put them all in a room and see how difficult it is for me to kill them without dying. Hello. So I said that I'm gonna try beating these three enemies. They all have the same exact HP and armor. They have 30 HP, health points, and 10 armor. I put their names down here so that you can see, and let's give it a try. I am dead. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, so I died quite a few times. Okay, so the enemies are quite hard to beat, so I'll make them much weaker in the game and we'll test the game. Maybe if it's too easy I'll do some improvements. So let's say that we have an enemy, a level 1 enemy, and that enemy will have 10 health points but 0 armor, and as they progress in levels they will get armor, health, and maybe damage. But I don't know if this is the best method, because we have to test the game in order to make the best improvements. So I'm gonna have to ask you for some feedback. So feel free to leave some feedback in the comments or on the Discord server. And the last major feature in this update, that is also one of my favorites, is the custom lighting system. And I will try to explain you how I made it with a simple drawing. So I'll give the word to Cosmic Dish from the past to explain this. I'll try to explain how my lighting system works. Let's say we have these particles. Yeah? These are particles simulated in the world space. So we have the player, we have the particles attached to the player, and if we move the player, the particles will remain in the same spot because they are simulated in world space. Now, however, we have these particles that are a lot more that move with the player. So we have a collider around the player, and this collider pushes back the particles, making them circle around the player. And let's say we add an enemy. The enemy, however, will not push the particles away because it doesn't have a collider. It only has a sprite mask, that is this one, and the enemy itself. So the sprite mask makes the particles invisible while inside it, and the torch or the candles work exactly like the enemy. And you can see empty spots in here. So let's say we have this room and you can see through the shadows, and that's not right. That's why we add a canvas with an image that fills every empty spot, or just fills the entire screen, okay? And this image is above everything. So how can we see the player? Well, we just add another image that makes it transparent so that we can see the sprites. And we add this image for each lit object, making them visible again. That is going to wrap up this devlog. Feel free to join the Discord server and give me more suggestions for the upcoming games, including Soulless. Yes, the name of the game is Soulless. Thank you for watching. See you next time.